Hello, everybody, and welcome to TOFFEE BLUECAST. If it comes up on Twitter now, the link is there. You can come over to YouTube and drop your comments because we do interact with you big time. You can drop your comments over on YouTube, or you can comment on YouTube. There's that option now where if you can comment on Twitter. Sorry, there is that option where if you put your stuff on Twitter, we can still see your comments from Twitter. So, TOFFEE BLUECAST bringing the Everton fans together. We want you to get involved in the comments. Have your lineup predictions ready because we do ask for that later on in the show, and have your score predictions ready as well. Now, I've said it, you've seen it in the write-up. We fan clash now. That's what we do. How can we talk about Man City when we don't know that much about Man City? We might as well get a Manchester City fan on. Here he is, Marvin, cracking guy. We only meet today, but let's get him on Manchester City's behalf. How are we doing, Marvin? You all right?
Yeah, I'm great, man. Here to talk about, obviously, you got champions of the world, man, champions of the world. So, I don't have the gold badge yet, but I'll get that soon. But thank you. Can't wait to see what the comments got to say as well, and all the banter that I'm sure will come in the comments.
Well, we normally do look after the opposition fan. We don't really troll it that much, and we try and get a good listen out of you because it's interesting to see what the other fan thinks of their team, because you get an insight of an actual fan, because we don't keep our eyes on Manchester City 24/7 where you're a continuous Manchester City fan. So you get a real good insight of what Manchester City are like from you. So it gives you a different opinion and view by getting the opposition fan on. It's really working well for us on TOFFEE BLUECAST. For people that are new, if I want to say this at the start of the stream because I don't want to come off the stream and not see like at least 20 likes on the stream. So get the like button hit straight away, because then this will go around and we can get more and more people on the channel every time we go live. So if you hit that like now, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. We have just become a part of YouTube now as well. So there is that little emoji that you can click if you do want to donate for the channel, which will go towards like we'll do kit things. We're looking at doing a lot of stuff, ain't we, Paul, on the channel? Merchandise, charity things. There's a lot of stuff that we're looking to do. So there is that option there if you want to. If you can't, don't worry about it. But there is that option there now. Right, so let's get to business. Manchester City v Everton. Paul, how do you feel about this?
Nervous. This is always one that we kind of look at as a free hit. We've had a couple of results last few years where we managed to grab a draw. A few years before that, when Timmy Cahill was around, we had a run of about 4 wins on the bounce away at City. So there's been some positives in the past, but more recently probably less, because City, as Marvin said, champions of the world. You know, it's it's a bit like that at the moment, where we've not got 2 pennies to scrape together against the side which at the moment has many pennies to scrape together. So anything we get, I think tomorrow would be a bonus, but we're always up for it. We're always fighting and we're always giving our best. So never know.
I am the Tiger. Paul Caswell in the house, in the TOFFEE BLUECAST house. City are a great teammate. Can't really troll them much. Yeah, well, we can if we beat them, but like you said, you can't troll how they're doing because they're absolutely smashing it. Manchester City, look at the smile on his face there. He's a happy. Well, he's got, saying that though, you have got a bit of a challenge, haven't you? Like, you're not sitting top, fine and dandy. You have got to win some games to get to the top. So you must feel like you're starting to get better now. We will talk about your form, but you must feel like you're just coming into form from what you was.
Oh, of course, yeah. I think now is probably the worst time for teams to face us. Not necessarily now, like on Saturday, but after Saturday, I think we've got a full fit squad now. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. We really should be, be winning these games. Still unbeaten at home, even since I don't even know when the last defeat. Maybe Brentford, which was 2022 before the World Cup. So we've got a good record at home. So we should be winning. But we know football. Football is one of those games that you just never know. You never know what can happen. There's been much more worse things that has happened in football. But I'm not a liar, so I can't lie to you guys saying I think that you guys will win. But I do think we've got a strong. We're coming back to form. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. But I think we're coming back in the form now.
Well, while we're on the subject, let's look at the form. You know how we do it. We'll chuck something on the screen now. I don't do the cup games because I think cup games you never know. They don't play the strongest team, do the teams don't in the cup game? We do, but I know some other teams don't play the strongest teams in the cup game, so we can't really put cup games in there. So let's just go on the last 5 Premier League games of Manchester City and the last 5 of Everton, and we'll talk about you. You can hit your form first. I mean, I didn't realise how good you was doing. I'll just move you up there. I didn't realise how good you was doing until I typed up your form just earlier on. It's not bad, is it, when I have to write 5 W's, isn't it? You know what I mean? So coming back into
it's not a bad record at all. I mean, I'll start with. I think it's just the most recent is probably better to talk on. Brentford. I think that game. To be fair, all of these games we deserved to win all these games. Especially the one that stood out the most where was the Everton one. Obviously, we had Goodison because I knew your fans would be up for it. 115 charges, all of that. There was a lot of stick that we got. But especially when you go to a place like that. But I think that's what started it off. But as for Brentford, I think Brentford was one of those games where that could have been 5. We should have that goal that we conceded. That's the problem. Most of those games that we're seeing in the form, we're conceding a lot of goals. That is a concern. I don't know how many clean sheets exactly we have, but we're definitely not. We're probably not in the top 5, which is for a team like what we've done in recent years. We've really relied on our defense, so that is a problem. But apart from that, we should have won. That game should have even been 6. There's a lot of chances that we're missing. So Burnley was one of those games as well, and it's Kevin De Bruyne for me. Kevin De Bruyne is he's a main influence. Even though we didn't have Kevin De Bruyne for Sheffield or Everton, those games that when he's there, there's just something about his presence on the field. I just feel we feel a lot more comfortable when he's there. And I think Burnley, having him start for the first time since Burnley away, that was such a boost for the players. And again, conceding 90th minute, we conceded again, 90th minute. It was very frustrating because we should have really seen that game out too. So that's the only thing. Yeah, I don't want to, because obviously it's 5 W's. I don't want to, be a downer because I know that City fans, they'll tell me to cheer up, but I'm happy with that, of course. But of course, if we're just looking at the fine margins, we are conceding quite a bit.
The thing is, though, Marvin, a lot of the time, results don't tell the whole story, do they? And I'm glad you've said that because you can have 5 W's there, but it might. If you looked at Everton now, which we'll talk about in a second, me and Paul, but I honestly feel we're better than what it says there. I think win the games. If you've actually watched the games, we are better than that. Like you say, for Manchester City, some of those games are closer than what you would like, aren't they? When you look at the scores, I mean, you played well against us and hit that one first. You did well. Foden was absolutely sensational that game. I felt that we gave you a good game, but Foden, it wasn't a 3-1 game for me. It was just Foden masterclass, and you ended up with a good scoreline. But that game, it wasn't miles. It wasn't a spanking from Everton. It's always the case. 3-1 looks like a big score, but then you actually watch the game, we're in it, and you just smash us at the end. That's it. Then you look at Sheffield United, I'd be looking at you probably winning 5-6-0 there, 2-0. Yeah. Newcastle, you said you didn't play that well against them. Yeah, you didn't play well against them.
That one was one of those. That one was one of those games that was, to be fair, the first half, Ortega made a massive save before it went 3-1. I don't know how Isaac missed that chance because, of course, we can say that obviously Ortega's a good shot stopper, but he really should have scored that goal. I don't know if you guys seen the chance that he should have scored. And again, if that was 3-1, I don't know if we come back that game. Edison went off. When Edison went off, the pressure, there was more pressure, and that's why they scored the goals to go 2-1 up. But again, when I was speaking to Newcastle fans, once Kevin De Bruyne came on, they knew. Just we knew as well. All through the game, we were all singing, "Oh, Kevin De Bruyne, oh, Kevin De Bruyne," because we knew once he came on that he would be, as long as we can keep the game, even if we lose it 2-1. You just need players. You need that individual brilliance. You need somebody that can, when the game's not going the way you want, that can just step up. And he's our guy. He's our Canton now. He's our Thierry Henry. He's our guy. So yeah, he came on.
I did actually watch that Manchester City Newcastle game, and when Newcastle do play you, they don't sit back. They go head to head with you. They've given you some good games the last couple of times they've played you, and I actually put, when De Bruyne come on, I put a tenner on De Bruyne to score because I knew, like you, I thought he's coming on to do the business here, and he come on and he scored cracking goal, individual goal, and then he set up the young lad as well, didn't he, with a eye of the needle pass into his feet. So I did actually watch that, so I've done my research there, and Newcastle did take it to you, but the way you played at the end with De Bruyne was frightening. Burnley, didn't watch that one, and then Brentford. I'm going to chuck this on you now, Paul. What do you think of our form?
Hey, well, unbeaten in the league in January. So, positive. And, clean sheets against Villa, clean sheet against Fulham. Came back at the end, 2-2 v Spurs. So we don't give up in that respect. I thought we deserved something as well against Spurs. So I don't think it was an unfair thing for us to get a point from it. And we beat Palace as well in the middle of all that in the cup replay. So there's plenty of positives for us. I know we're still on a little bit of a downer on ourselves, aren't we? We're almost like we keep looking back to the second half of December, and we haven't really come over that, in the fact that we were so high at the start of December, 4 wins on the bounce, and then 3 defeats in a row, and then we're kind of complaining that we're not scoring enough, but actually we're unbeaten in the full month in the league. So I think sometimes we've got to pull out the positives, and the goals will come. XG, baby, it's all there. We've got the chances. We just got to put them away.
Well, yeah, our XG is actually really good. We just need to put the ball in the back of the net. We had a hard run of games. I think it was like, at the time, we played Manchester City, we played Spurs, and we knew it was a hard run. It was we played well every game, but just lost. Like I said, we didn't play bad against Manchester City last game, in my opinion. And we played well against Spurs. We could have actually won in that game. We played well against Man U. They was lucky clearing stuff off the line. So we played big teams and we lost, where you'd like to get something from these big teams. Yeah. Even if you don't deserve something, you'd like to nick something. But finally, we come up against Aston Villa, where we got spanked by Wolves, and I feel that was a wake-up call. We come up against Aston Villa, who are a very good team this season. They are very good. And not last game, but they've been good. Aston Villa, 0-0. I think that's a good result against an informed Aston Villa that's looking to push top 4. And not many teams keep a clean sheet against Aston Villa. So that was a good start for us. And then we went on Fulham, who was playing well, 0-0 again. So we're defending well, but just not scoring. And then the last game against Spurs, we bring it back at the end as well, show a bit of fight there. So we're unbeaten in the last 3. So that's a good sign for us. It shows that we're fighting, and unbeaten in the last 3 is a lot better form for me. What do you think on our form before we chuck that off this? Oh, go on, Paul. Go for it.
I was just gonna say there, just in terms of what Marvin was saying about Man City conceding goals, and the fact that they've had a couple of clean sheets recently against Sheffield United, and Spurs got the win against them. But beyond that, I thought we would have had loads more conceded than Man City, but they've conceded 25 so far this season. We've conceded 30, so that's only 5. When you're looking at where we are and where they are, that's testament to our lads at the back, to be fair. Not great scoring, obviously. But as a back 4 and a defensive unit, we're obviously doing plenty of things right. We're only conceded 5 more goals than Man City, who are second. So I'd say we've done pretty well.
Especially when we only have about 30% possession and Man City have about 99% possession. That makes our defending even more good then, because we are defending a lot when they probably aren't, and they've conceded a few. What do you think of our form then? Do you think we're picking up, or you think, right, you've had 3 draws and you're getting smashed still?
Nah, I think Paul just said it there. I think defensively, your form is, apart from obviously the Wolves game, but everybody has a Wolves game. You know what I mean? Everybody in the league, we all have days like that. Defensively, you guys have looked very, very, as Sean Dyche if that's even I'm going to call it Sean Dyche because he gets his teams quite.
Dicey.
Yeah, he gets the teams quite drilled to like keep clean sheets and do the basics and get by the basics. I think that definitely helps players in the situation that happened to in the middle of the season with Everton, obviously with the charges and all that. I think having a manager like Dyche, I think that helps. But I think it's just the goals. I think it's the goals where you guys will struggle. And I think for us that's where defensively, yes, we might concede, but I don't think we'll concede more than one. And I think we can score more than one. And I think that's why I do think we will, or we should win. And I think Haaland hasn't scored yet. You know, Haaland, he'll be hungry to score. You know, he'll be hungry to score. He hasn't really scored yet since coming back from injury. Obviously, it's just been 2 games, so obviously that's not really a fair reflection because he hasn't really played that much. But he's starting to come back in the fitness. So I just think you guys could score, but I just don't even know where the goal would come from for you guys, apart from maybe midfield runners, maybe someone in the midfield, maybe Harrison, you know, he could come back to haunt us again. You know, we had Harrison at City for a while, and then maybe he might come back to haunt us. But I just think there's too many goals. I think we score too many goals not to score more than one. And especially
I was going to say, Spurs were complaining about how many crosses we were putting into the box in the 2-2. Like, we're not allowed to do that. But set pieces seems to be where most teams are a bit wary of us at the moment. So maybe it's going to be another Branthwaite, Tarkowski, you know, anyone, Onana, you know, straight in there on Edison. So that'd be interesting if we get a chance to do that.
Yeah, hopefully not. I need Edison not to do what he was doing last game against Brentford. He was flying at players last game, Edison. He wasn't really composed. So if you do, he's Edison, even though I do think he's definitely better, he's a better keeper than people give him credit for. If you do though, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about Edison because I don't even want to let him down because I do really think that Edison's a good keeper, but sometimes his concentration, I don't know what it is. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating as a City fan because I can see he's a great keeper, but he just he has lapses of concentration, and it sometimes costs us. You know, this blue card that's getting introduced, he might even be the first guy to get it. He might be the first guy to get it.
Don't even talk about that.
No, we will definitely have someone be the first blue carded. And then, like most people have said on Twitter today, it'll happen, we'll get one, and then they'll scrap it after that. And then we'll use one again. And that's basically how we feel every single game.
I love the colour blue, and you love the colour blue as well, Marvin. Blue is the best colour. Red's disgusting, right? But this is a scenario where I do not want the colour blue to exist because it's going to completely kill the game. And I've just seen that pop up today, and oh my days, I don't want that to happen. VAR is bad enough, delaying celebrations. You start bringing the blue card in, it's going to completely kill games. All the best games, you want games to be non-stop thriller, and you can't believe so much has gone on in 90 minutes. You start simbing and turning football into hockey and stopping celebrations with VAR. It's killing the football. Is the best game ever. It always has been from when I was younger. I've coached it, refereed it. It doesn't need changing. It doesn't. It's just a perfect game as it is. Leave it and just let it be, and just let new footballers come into the game. The rules don't. The referees need to referee better, but the rules don't need changing. That's not the problem. The problem is actually the referees refereeing better, in my opinion, on that one. I did say to one of your mates, I said to him, I feel like with our fixtures coming up, I'm really, really ready for this game. I am really ready for this game because the confidence that playing Manchester City could give you if you did get something going into your next games, because we've got Crystal Palace next and we are in the bottom 3. And our fans don't need to panic if we stay in the bottom 3 if we do lose, which I don't think we will because I'm Everton all the way. But if we got something from you after beating Manchester City, you beat the best team in the world. That's the good thing about playing Manchester City. Or even if we drew, a lot of people would like to play you. I suppose that's a bad thing for you, isn't it? Like, players will step it up against Manchester City because everyone wants to play the best team, don't they? So I think this is the perfect time to play you because we play you, and if we did get something, the confidence it would give us going into Palace, Brighton, and then we've got West Ham, Man U, and then it gets harder. We've got the shite, Liverpool the shite, and then Bournemouth, Newcastle. So this game's big for me, big for confidence. It's a free hit, but I don't want to lose. It's a big game. Right, let's get these lineups on the screen. You can tell us about your lineup. I've listened to our interview. I'm sure Paul has as well, to see who's available. I don't know if you've listened to your interview or if you know who's available. Let's do this. Lineup predictions, everybody. We want you in the comments as well to drop your lineup predictions in the comments, and we will read them out and tell you what we think of them and interact with you. So get ready. We want to see your lineup predictions. Marvin's going to give his.
Yes.
I'm going to put the last. By the way, we know this might not be the team played, but it is the last 11 that both teams played. So don't say, oh, he's not available or he's not available, because it's just the last 11 that was played. Right. Here we go. Marvin, are you scared, mate? Because this is the mighty Toffees on the screen here. There we go. That's what we played last game. It could be different for us, by the way, people, because we have had injuries and there is a few players back. But Marvin, first of all, can you tell us, do you know who's available for you? Is there anything different?
No, there's no difference. Everybody's fit. Everybody's fit. So as you can see, in our lineup, there's no Stones. Stones is fit. I don't even know why Stones didn't start on Monday night, to be honest. But Stones is fit. Akanji hasn't played since the FA Cup match against Huddersfield at home. I think that was on the 7th of this month. He's back. So we're fully fit squad. Everyone's back, first.
So you have got everyone back. Right, let's hit you on this then. So what is your lineup prediction? Start from the goalkeeper and then hit your defence. Tell us what midfield you go for and what striker you go for and what formation you'd use this game.
Right, so I would do basically the same on the screen, kind of that 4. But actually what I would do is I'd put Edison in the goal. And obviously we'll play like a 4, but sometimes Stones goes into the midfield to make kind of a 2. So like it's free at the back. So it would be, for me, it would be Ake. I know obviously Gavardio. Listen, I love Gavardio, but the guy's not a left back. He's a centre back, and I think we need to start employing him as a centre back, not a left back. But I think it will be Ake, Diaz. Hopefully Stones goes back into the midfield. Then Walker would be kind of that third kind of centre back behind Stones, who would push up, and then I'd put Stones with Rodri. So they would be kind of sitting together. And then in that midfield as well, I'd have De Bruyne. Alvarez, I wouldn't start Alvarez in midfield again. Not with De Bruyne. So I would change that. I would put maybe Kovacic that game. I think Kovacic, maybe, yeah, I'd put Kovacic with De Bruyne. And then I'd put Silva forward and then Haaland. So the only changes I would make from Monday is I'd put Stones in for Gavardio. And I would take out Alvarez for Kovacic. Then would be what I would do. And then obviously the big man Haaland, keep him up top. And that would be great, because then we could have Doku, who could on the bench, because I think Doku offers something different. We could have Grealish on the bench, who, Grealish, there's certain things. Apparently he fell out in training with Pep or something like that. Apparently it's a true story as well. So I'm not really sure how true it is, but if so, Grealish will be on the bench. And then Alvarez will be there. So we'll have options off the bench if needed. And Gavardio as well. He's another defensive option. Nunes, the guy who used to play for Wolves, he would be there. Lewis. So the options on the guy that scored against Newcastle, the winner. So the bench is very strong. So at least that would give us some different options if we started with what I think we'll start with.
So that is Marvin's team. Interesting that you put Kovac in. I thought that was interesting. You obviously don't fancy the left back, the new lad. You've gone for three centre backs, 2 midfielders, different formation completely. You've gone for, aren't you? Remembering what you was like last time. I remember the Everton game last time against Manchester City, and it wasn't working for you. And I remember all of a sudden you moving Silva onto the right hand side, and he got into the game then, and he got some space. And Bernardo Silva, and you moved him over to the right hand side, and that's when you completely did us. So I do get why Silva's in this last lineup is on that right hand side. But yeah, it's interesting on what you said. By the way, your other boy that I spoke to on his channel, he did have Grealish in the squad. He said he would play Grealish. I'm a bit scared of Grealish. I am. I think Grealish is someone that can really frustrate Everton because he just takes that extra time and confidence on the ball. So I'm happy you ain't starting Grealish. I am. What do you think on that team? It's gone for Paul.
Yeah. Well, it's all formidable, isn't it? To be fair, I mean, I see Diaz and Rodri as your man mountains. To be honest, I just think they're immense. They're really hard to get past. I'm quite happy for Ake to be in the back four. To be honest, I think he's probably the one that Beto or DCL would probably have most joy with. To be honest, like you say, maybe Alvarez for Kovacic, just because it's gonna get Larry in there. It is gonna get Larry in there. So I could see maybe someone like Kovacic being in there in the centre, especially if Onan is playing, and maybe Garner Gay might be in there as well. So it wouldn't surprise me to sort of see someone in there like that. I'm more scared of Foden, to be honest with you. I think Foden's much more mobile, to be honest. I think he's a little bit more to get into the area to finish than Grealish. I think Grealish is more of a creator on sort of coming in from the left, whereas I think Foden has just got a bit more mobility about him and is more likely to get on the score sheet. So wherever you look, to be honest, Man City's just, they're too much individually, and Pep hasn't working as a side. So it's all about what we can do, because we know that they're going to be as good as they are.
Did you put, just on what you said, you put Ake in? Did you put him in for set pieces? Because I can see why you have, if that's the reason, because we do knock balls in the box and we are quite good in the air. Do you think he is probably your best person on set pieces, isn't he, to be fair, Ake?
Yeah, it could be for set pieces, but I just think that Ake, everything. I think that if you ask any City fan or the majority of City fans who are best defenders been this season, they'll say Nathan Ake. They'll say Nathan Ake. They might say Diaz, and that would be fair. They'll either say Diaz or Ake. Ake has been immense, even last year through the treble season. I remember when he got injured before Real Madrid, we were worried. We were worried that he wasn't there against Bayern Munich. Ake has been so immense for us in the past 2 years. He's not the same guy that he was at Bournemouth. He's went up a different level. So maybe the physicality, I do understand that point on DCL. Maybe that might be the reason why Gavardio might start, because Gavardio's a little bit more physical. But I just think with Ake, Ake is just, he's more of a defender than Gavardio, at least as a left back. He's better one-on-ones. He deals with one-on-ones a lot better. I know you said Grealish as well. You'd prefer Grealish to start, but and to be fair, he's got, I think, 3 goals in 3 games. He's been on form, but Phil Foden and Silva, we can't drop those two. Those two are, they're pivotal to the way that we want to play, especially what Phil Foden. He's been taking games by the scruff of the neck this season. And that lineup that we played against Brentford didn't have John Stones. That's why I said the 3, because when Stones is fit, we play totally different. He's kind of he's our diamond in a way. The way it's John Stones, when he comes in, we play very, very differently. We play better with John Stones in, which sounds crazy to say that, but we do. We play a lot better with John Stones in because he's much more calmer. He's very composed. You know, he reminds me of, I don't know, like a Spanish defender or an Italian defender. Sometimes just his composure, the way that he just dictates play, the possession aspect, something that Gareth Southgate needs to take more. Needs to do more with, because John Stones, he's very talented. John Stones, very. So
yeah. we did give you John Stones, and we knew he was incredible when we had him, and we knew he'd go on to. We wasn't a team at the time that passed the ball, but Stones was that centre back that was just so confident that he used to go into our midfield when we didn't pass the ball and keep it, and was like, "This is different." And you did. Stones is incredible. We have got a centre-back that I feel is going to be even better than Stones in Gerard Branthwaite. You're on about a diamond, mate. Gerard Branthwaite. I watched Stones and I knew he'd be a superstar. I think Gerard Branthwaite's going to be even better because he's got what Stones has got, and he's got even more for me. I know I get excited about him, but if you actually watch him this game, everyone's talking about him. He's young and he's absolutely smashing it. I've never seen such a complete centre back, and he's only just at the beginning of his journey. So Branthwaite is one that you probably will be sniffing around. I already spoke to Crunk, and he says he's interested in Branthwaite, and there's been articles talking about you're interested in Branthwaite. I can see why. Paul, right? Our team there.
Yeah,
that's our team. We're going to say our lineups. I'll drop my lineup, and we want your lineups in the comments. Paul, ask him the legendary question.
in our side, Marvin, who do you see as our weakest link?
Oh, weakest link. Apart from the attack.
Do you mean might not be that lineup, but yeah.
I just think, apart from the attack, because I do think the attack at young right wing, young right wing. That's that, if you play that, I couldn't believe
every single episode we do, I ask the same question, and everyone said the same person.
Actually, that confused me. Like, you know what it is, if I have to say, because I do think you guys will be defending most of the game. So if I have to look at one area of the game, maybe it has to be one of the fullbacks. Maybe Mikalenko against Silva. I think that Silva, he's a very tricky winger, Silva, and I think he could give him a hard time. It depends how Idrissa Gueye also does, and I know Brentford is on that side too. Which, by the way, I was saying to one of my Everton friends, because he was telling me about Brentford when he was starting out, and I was like, nah, I don't think he's as good as you're making him out to be. But to be fair, I didn't watch him as much as him because he's an Everton fan. But now, when I've been watching him recently, I think it was the start of the season. I don't know if it was against Fulham at home or one of those games, and I watched him, and Chelsea at home, when you were Chelsea at Goodison, I was watching him and I was amazed. So I think Mikalenko would be the weakest link, but he's protected by those two, so he might not be as isolated. But I think Mikalenko would be the guy that I'd say pass the ball to Silva, Kevin De Bruyne as well, because Kevin De Bruyne, he also likes to overlap on the wing. He can go on the left wing too. He can overlap on the left. He can overlap on the right. But because he normally plays on the right side, that area with KDB, yeah, I think that would be the area to exploit.
You're not alone. You're not alone in saying young anyway.
What about our team? What would you say is our weak points? Like, who would, if you guys would let it on the counter attack? Like, which side would you prefer to attack on?
Your left side for me, in terms of defense, but across the board, it's still solid. We haven't got enough pace. That's what we're really lacking. Like you got Doku. We would love a player who was as fast as him, but we just haven't got that, and we haven't had that for God knows how long. We haven't had a really speedy winger, and that's what we've wanted for years, but never really had it. McNeil can have a good old run, but you wouldn't pick out his pace as being his number one thing at all. So we're just lacking pace. We need to move up as a unit, and that's why set pieces tend to be the things that we kind of revel in a little bit more than open play, because we've got to get up the pitch first. Beto's got a bit of a sprint on him, to be fair. And actually, when we played you guys at our place, I think Dan called it before the game. He said if Beto comes on, he's going to get someone injured, because there's always a defender who goes off injured against Beto. And I think it was Stones. During that game, I think. So it'd be interesting to see when Beto comes on who he goes up against, because he's a little bit all arms and legs and body. So yeah, I would like to see him run against that guy. That would be an interesting battle.
This is building me up now, because he's just said, how do I feel we can hit him? I did watch your last game, and a player that isn't that fast scored, and you know who the player is, don't you?
Yeah, I hate that player. Yeah, I hate that.
Well, he's actually an Everton player that scored against you, so maybe that's a sign that Mopé scored last game, and you're going to get more from the Everton players this game. But he never runs past players like he did yours, like beats the back line on the trap like he did. And I just think to myself, if Mopé can score that first goal like he did against you, it gives me a bit of optimism that if you do push that back line up like you did, Calvert-Lewin's a lot faster than Mopé. a lot faster than Mope, and he's a lot stronger. And it's given me a little bit of confidence. I know you come back and smash Brentford after, but I'm sure you yourself will think, we let them score too easy. And if it was against another team, that was a very bad start. So that's given me a bit of confidence, that I honestly do think Calvert-Lewin against any of your centre-backs there, other than Walker, but don't think Calvert-Lewin will be on Walker. Calvert-Lewin can cause a bit of problem for him. Or Beto, if Beto starts. So there is that. Your centre and midfield's good, but I remember Onana, who I love Onana. Some of our fans ain't sure about him, but I think this could be the game, Belgium against Belgium, because he comes up against De Bruyne. This could be a game that Onana shines as well and could give you a bit of trouble in the middle of the park. Jack Harrison, you touched on it as well for me. He's an ex-Manchester City back in the day, and he used to play well against Manchester City when he played for Leeds as well. I think he could be your cursed player, Jack Harrison. So he could be a threat as well if he does get on the ball. We're waiting for him to shine. This could be the game. So there's a couple of things I can get excited about there, Marvin. I feel we can hurt you in different ways. I've just got my hands up here.
Yeah, he was a threat, Jack Harrison. In the Goodison game, he was quite a bit of a threat. And even as you said about Leeds, he did used to hurt us. Another person that maybe I haven't mentioned that I do think could be also could hurt us for you guys would be Pickford. You know, and I know that sounds mad, but though I think Pickford is a good distributor, and I think that because we play a very, very high line, we could be exploited, and that's how Brentford scored. And I don't even think that I think that Flacken guy, I don't think he was good at distribution. I don't think he was a good distributor, but he just one ball over the top and they scored. Well, Pickford actually is good at distribution. You know, he can actually pick players, especially from corners. Let's say if he claims a corner and he's already looking who to ping the ball to, that's where maybe Calvert-Lewin can bring it down.
I was going to say the Spurs game. I thought past of the match in our Spurs game was Pickford, where DCL sort of gone towards the right hand side, and he's just side kicked it, and it's just zipped and curved right into DCL's path. So I see what you're saying, because if we can have someone, say you're up for a corner or whatever else, or just on the break, that could be a great opportunity for us if we have someone fast enough to do it.
Can I just say, we have not paid Marvin to say that Pickford is good. Finally, someone that appreciates Pickford, because we love him, and you'll already know he's a man that gets loads of stick, but he kept us up last season, and I think he's got a lot better. Back in the day, I'm talking like probably 2 seasons ago, he did like make some rash decisions, but now I actually think Jordan Pickford's fantastic, and he saved us so many times. But loads of people are like, oh, Pickford's crap, Pickford's a dinosaur. But if you actually watch him with his feet, inch perfect kicks, I think some of the stops he does one-on-one are amazing. I think Pickford's good. So it's nice for someone to actually big up Pickford, isn't it, Paul, there, and actually appreciate him, because nobody gets stick on Jordan Pickford, don't we? Right, this is the time, people. Let's
I don't know what.
Let's drop a bit of build up here, Paul. Well, we're going to drop our lineup now.
Yes. Let's do it. Shall I go first or you?
Everton lineup prediction. Let's hype it up. Come on.
It's a bit IB to that.
When you did yours, Marvin, I just didn't add no music. I left it flat because I didn't give you the hype, mate.
At the start.
I didn't give Marvin the hype, but I need to build it up for us. This is the Spartan game, right? I said to Crunk, I said, Manchester City, rest in peace, by the way, Apollo Creed. I love him. I love my Rockies. You know me. Manchester City, the Apollo Creed, they're perfect condition, perfect, always expected to win at the very top. Everton, this game with the Rocky, the Eye of the Tiger, the underdog, where we shouldn't win, but we're going to have a lot of heart this game. And sometimes passion and heart can get you somewhere. And this is going to be a game where we might need a lot of luck. But if we fight Man City for this and they ain't up for it, we can have them. Right, Paul, let's do this. Comments, get in the comments now. We want it. We'll read them out after ours. Paul's lineup prediction, then I'll give mine. And we want... Get the like button hit as well. I have seen there's not enough likes on the stream. Someone's just commented there should be more. So get the like button hit as well. Go on, Paul. Lineup prediction. Let's go.
Pickford in goal. Easily enough. Mikolenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski. I think that I'd be surprised if they're not shoe-ins for almost everybody, to be fair. I'd mentioned before about what Sean had said in the press conference. I'm just trying to zip back and find where it was, because Anana's back in contention, but Decore isn't. It's too soon for him, apparently. Who else? Young and Coleman, more so Young. Fine for this game, I think he said. Danjuma is out injured. Gomez is out injured. This is it. There you go. So in our choices, that's basically where we are. We'd love to have Decore back, but he's not quite ready. But Onana is now available. More on the grass. Decore is on the grass. Sean's favourite saying, on the grass, but he's not quite ready for Saturday. So that's where we are. So I've gone Pickford, Mikolenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski. I've stuck with Godfrey on the right-hand side. I think what we've done against Spurs and what we did against who was it? Fulham before that, I think worked quite well. So it'd probably be Godfrey in that respect on that side. Probably Young again on that right-hand side in front of Godfrey. That way you can sort of go to an back three or a back five, to be honest. It's very adaptable. So probably playing Young in front of Godfrey. You'll have McNeil in front of Mikolenko. Middle two, this is where you start thinking, right, do we have two of the more sort of defensive midfielders, or do we go three? I'd still stick with James Garner, and I'd probably go Onana to start. And I'd have Harrison in front of them with DCL in front of Harrison. I think Garner Gay can come on and take over from Onana later on in the game. And because we've got a few injuries and stuff, I think we're a little bit limited. I think Beto will come on for DCL after probably about 89 minutes, when we wanted it to be after about 70 or 60. But that's what Sean does. So yeah, that'd be mainly for me. I think we'll have James Garner, James Garner and Onana in the middle. And Garner Gay will come on somewhere in the second half, along with Beto.
That is Paul's lineup prediction. Right, I'm going to drop mine and we'll read yours out in the comments, people. So get your lineups in. Please get your lineups in. We want to see what you think. Don't just want to be about us. We want to get a variety of lineups on the show. My lineup prediction, I'm going to go Jordan Pickford in goals. Mikolenko, you mentioned, Marvin, about Mikolenko. When he first come to Everton, he wasn't that good. His confidence was low and stuff, apparently playing with an injury. But for us just lately, he's been really good. Like, he's bigger and stronger, and he gets right up a player's arse straight away. Like, he gets stuck in. He lets the player know he's there early. So I do think I get what you're saying with Silva, because I do feel that was where you got us last game. But Mikolenko, he's magic, you know. We've got a song for him now, and he's stepped up. So I'm comfortable with Mikolenko. He's magic, you know. So I'm going to stick Mikolenko left back. Branthwaite, I've already hyped him up. If I hype him up anymore, everyone's going to get scared. Tarkowski, you know about Tarkowski. He's just a machine, good at blocking, good at headers, dangerous. Proper old school centre back that I like. You know what I mean? Your Vidic sort of centre back that loves the game of football.
He's kind of like Steve Bruce.
Yeah, he is. And I like that. I think you need, with centre backs, you need someone fast and someone strong. And Tarkowski's a strong one. Branthwaite's strong and fast. He's just freaking cloned, isn't he, Branthwaite? So I'm happy with our centre backs, like you touched on. I think we've got two good centre backs, and then you can tell by our form, because teams are struggling to beat us through those centre backs. Right back, this is where it gets interesting. We've given Ben Godfrey a chance because we've had no players. Ben Godfrey is a centre back. We was on about him going, and he's had 2 games, and he's made us question whether we should keep him now, because he's stepped up the last 2 games. When he first come to Everton, fantastic tackler, looked really good, but not shined over the last couple of seasons. This could be his chance. I'm going to go for... Do I leave Godfrey in there? I'm going to go for Godfrey there again, because I know you're going to hit us on the wings, and I feel Godfrey could just... He's an athlete, and centre-back, I wouldn't trust him, but on there, when you're going down our side, I think Godfrey's got enough to stop you there.
I think everyone just wants Godfrey to play because of last time with Haaland at your place. He's like, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
So
this
that's why we want him playing.
that was a
So,
good battle. That was Godfrey and Hallen last time. I have got that
It
in my
was a
head.
good
I ain't got the
battle.
picture,
It
but
was a good battle.
yes, I would go Godfrey there, right back. Coleman's available, so I wouldn't mind if Coleman played there either. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to actually, and if you come on the channel a bit ago when we the derby and stuff like that, I hated Ashley Young. I know that's a strong word, but he was doing my head in. He was getting a yellow card in 5 minutes every game, and he's killed then as soon as he gets the yellow card. And I was just saying to myself, what are you doing? Because he was picking up stupid yellow cards, Ashley Young was. And he was really boiling me, Ashley Young was. And I was like, get him off the pitch. I didn't want him in my lineup. But when you play Ashley Young in front of Godfrey, it massively helps Godfrey because of Ashley Young's experience. Ashley Young doesn't make those stupid tackles because Godfrey's in the position to make tackles. And Ashley Young's got really good delivery. And he has got experience to keep the ball and not just lose it because he's got the experience in the game. So I feel Ashley Young is a lot better right winger than what he is right back. It was playing right back that was killing Ashley Young. And this has clicked. It's worked for me the last couple of games. So I would play Ashley Young right wing. I would keep it. If it works, keep it. And I know that's crazy because I wouldn't have wanted him to play now. But he has fair play. I'll put my hands up. I don't keep grudges against players. I just say what I see. In the centre, Garner Gay hasn't been Garner Gay since he's come back to us. But he played last game and he was the old Garner Gay. But Dyche did say in the press conference he come back from the African Cup and he's a bit shattered, but he still played. So I do feel he might need a little bit of a break because he ran his socks off last game. So I'm going to put Onana there in Garner Gay's position. James Garner's fantastic, by the way. I like James Garner. Really good on the ball. Big talent coming up. McNeil on the left. I'm sticking with the same team here, ain't I? And then I'm going to go, apart from Onana, Calvert-Lewin up top. Yes, the only change I've got there is Onana coming in for Garner Gay.
Maybe,
but I was really, I was really tempted, because you're Manchester City. I was tempted to go James Garner in the Harrison position and put Garner Gay and Onana, so play with three strong centre midfielders in the middle to really toughen things up for Manchester City to make it hard and play a proper 4-5-1 and make that 5 really hard to get through.
Why didn't you go for it? Why didn't you go for it? Because I did think of that, but why didn't you go for it?
Well, the only reason main reason I didn't go for it is because I'd find myself probably putting Ashley Young right back if I do that. And if we do put Ashley Young right back, that scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I'm worried.
I am tempted. I'm 50-50. I'm really close, Paul, on that. I am close to playing because I just think Manchester City are so good. We can't just go, like Dyche just said, a packet of Chris in the wind. You know what I mean? You can't just go at them all guns blazing. You've got to be sensible because a draw would be good for us in the situation we're in. We can't just roll over to Man City. Should we be going defensive and making it really hard for them? Have I gone too attacking?
No, well, I mean, I think although we are a lot fitter than we used to be, I think we obviously
Paul, keep it going 2 seconds.
We don't use subs that much, but if we were to use all 3 and then one of them got injured, but whatever, do you know what I mean? We'd be struggling, and you'd just walk through as a thing. And when we're talking about Mykolenko, Dan's right in the fact that he's been solid for us as well, but because you've got 2 guys who don't always go to the line, they like to cut in quite a lot as well. I think that's a little bit of a weakness of ours. I don't think we pick up the attackers who come inside as much as well as the others. So, and you've got guys who can really do that. So that's where we can get a little bit stuck.
The only reason,
go on. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just saying the only reason why I picked out Mykolenko really is because I do agree that in the recent games, and I even said this before about how I think defensively definitely improved. Now, no way should Everton be in the positions they were, like fighting for relegation. But I just think with Silva, and not just Silva, De Bruyne, who overlaps. And I was watching against Newcastle. Time and time again, De Bruyne's continually getting into that right wing. It's his signature kind of move. you know, getting onto the right wing and cross, hitting to the right wing and cross. And just like as you were saying before about, oh yeah, you crossed loads. Was it your last match where you were like, oh yeah, you were crossing loads?
Yeah, Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, you were crossing loads of balls in the box. That's like Kevin De Bruyne. Last game, I think he hit 11 or 20, maybe even 22. I don't know what the stat was, but he hit cross after cross after cross into the box. So I just think De Bruyne there, I think that will be where I'll get them. Maybe the Godfrey thing. Now, you know, Godfrey, the fact that I've heard what you guys were saying about Godfrey, maybe that might be another area where we might be able to exploit. Because if Foden does shift into midfield and Doku does come on, I do think Doku can give maybe that side. But I think Young and Godfrey would double mark him, possibly. They might start double mark him, so I'm not too sure on that. But as for the Harrison,
when you get, I was going to say, it's when you get around the back, because you know that kind of inside right position that De Bruyne likes to get on and whip those crosses just behind the two centre backs for Haaland or whoever runs in. That's a massive weakness for us. If we're facing, then we're solid, you know. But it's like Richarlison scoring his first goal against us. They got down to the byline, pulled it back. Any things like that, we struggle with. We do struggle with. So if you can get round the other side of our centre backs, then you've got to tap in really. So
that must have boiled the piss as well, man. Richarlison, man, that guy.
The problem is we had a proper discussion about this in the instant match reaction last time. Everyone tends to like Richarlison. There's some people being annoyed because they said some people were clapping Richarlison, but I think it was because of his reaction when he scored, which I think people appreciated. So we do still like him. It was just it was annoying. It was annoying. Shall I show some of these?
Do you know what though? I was just going to say on Richarlison, like not many. Richarlison is someone that you know is pigeon and all that lot. Richarlison loves a celebration, and he would celebrate against everyone in football because he's a proper footballer. Richarlison, I loved him. Not many players catch me. I've got the Cahill top on now, Tim Cahill, and the corner flag. He got me. I don't connect with a lot of players because I have to proper feel that they have the passion that us fans have about a football club. And Richarlison did, you know. Richarlison did. I get stick because people say, "Oh, he's gone. You should hate him now." But he scored and he didn't celebrate. Richarlison did, and he loves Everton still. He's moved on to try and win trophies. Players do that. It's Everton's fault, by the way, because they've run our football club really bad. And we should have got in a position where we could actually compete Europa League, and maybe Richie would have stayed, but we didn't. So I haven't got a grudge against Richarlison. It's not Richarlison's fault; it's Everton's fault. And I can understand why he left. So I don't hate him. I wanted to beat him, and I'm glad we come back. But I just think Richie showed a bit of respect for us there. But our fans are saying, "Oh, don't! You should hate him." But he got me. Richarlison was one of those players. Right, here we go then. Oh, this is a big one now. Let's.
We need some lineups from people.
Said it was going to die, so I went out. We need some music. No, we need this. DJ Dan is in the building. Toffee BLUECAST. Here we go. Right, here we go. This is big now.
That was very Ministry of Sound. I'd be the chills. That was.
A beef out Miami.
I can't get the songs I want because of copyrights. I've got to make do with these YouTube songs that I've got. But DJ Dan is in the building. I'm that obsessed with Toffee BLUECAST. I'm trying to get a song for us. I mean, T to the O to the FFEE. Toffee BLUECAST is the place to be. I've got the raps going. I've got the songs going. I'm trying to think of things here.
It's a work in progress. Work in progress. Cass has dropped his lineup. He's gone Pickford. He's gone Mikalenko, Branthwaite, Saki. He's gone Godfrey, same as us. He's gone Garner Gay first with James Garner in the middle. Young, Harrison, and Dobbin. He's gone Dobbin left-hand side, I think that is, with DCL up front. So he thinks that McNeil may be not starting, or maybe that's a preference. Eugene thinks that Beto is going to start instead of DCL. That'll be interesting. He's all running, Beto, but not always so much of the touch. Blues is our resident, keep our feet on the ground kind of audience member. Thanks, Blues. Jordan Pickford, Coleman to start on the right hand side, Mikalenko on the left, Taki and Branthwaite in the middle. Young, Garner Gay, James Garner, and McNeil going across with Harrison and DCL. I think that was the same as mine, but apart from Coleman. Hazrat, good lad. He was number one. He was first in. He was the early bird member today, first in. He said Pickers and Godfrey, Tarks, Branthwaite, Mikalenko.
He is God.
He is God. Well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see. Garner Gay, James Garner, Young, Harrison, McNeil, DCL in front of Beto, onwards and upwards, hopefully getting something on the board. That'd be really good. And I think they are our lineups for the moment. Oh, sorry, no. Oh, no. Because, Marvin, you won't know this. Emma's on each time that we're on. We love Emma. She puts her lineup in emojis. So we have to guess the lineup. Regular viewers will know who some of these are. And the first one, the fact that she's got a Jordan Pickford obsession, so that's why he's a peach. I'm thinking that's the Big Ben Godfrey, the second one. But pretty much the same as last week. Look back, it was a lot of fun. We've got Tarks and we've got Branthwaite, Mikalenko, because he likes a bandage around the head. Old guy Young, along with James Garner, because he's not a Red Devil anymore. Pride Man, Garner Gay, along with McNeil, Schlong on the left-hand side. I'm guessing it's DCL up front with the clown. I can't remember who the other one is. I can't quite make out the emoji. Do you remember, Dan?
Can't remember who that one was. She's got us here with these, hasn't she?
I
can't remember who that one is.
Like some sort of criminal investigation, just trying to see what they are.
Oh, mate.
I know, it does get you. I'm not an emoji guy, so we gave her a challenge there and she smashed it. The whole Everton team with the emojis.
Oh. Keane's the clown. She's playing Keane up front.
Keane up front, that's the one, yeah.
Guessing is DCL. Yeah, DCL and Keane up front. I tell you what, Keane can finish. That'd be a time to do it.
Wait, which one? Michael Keane?
Yeah.
He can score. I don't know why, but he can score.
We're waiting for DC. We're waiting for Sean Dykes to be strong enough a man to play him up front.
Following his Burnley goal. I hope you guys play Keane for our sake. If you play Michael Keane up front,
it's desperate. Beto is good, you know. The problem is with us though. I can't say all because our fans are incredible. Like honestly, incredible. I was there that Bournemouth game when we stayed up, and oh my, I've never heard anything like it. Passionate fan base we are. Travel loads away, loads home, sell out. Got like so many thousand on the waiting list of the new stadium. Our fans are amazing, but you do get that group of fans that are onto players, and I say, if you get onto them, it's not going to help them because they still do look at social media. Players do, and Calvert-Lewin and Beto haven't got the confidence yet, and everyone's like, oh, they're crap. It's not going to help. They will score. You just got to stay behind them. I'm sure you've had it with Manchester City players where you think, oh, they're not scoring, then all of a sudden you score one, boom, that's it. It only takes one goal, don't it? And then that's it. They can go on a run. So I do think with Calvert-Lewin, it's only a matter of time. Beto, I think Beto's better than what people think. He's big, he's strong, he's a machine. And sometimes it takes players a while to get used to the Premier League, don't it? It takes players a while to get used to it. So we need to get behind our strikers. Paul, is that all lineups? And we'll finish with score predictions.
All our lineups. Yeah, they're all our lineups. Score predictions. Here we go.
I was just gonna drop some music here for the score predictions. Right. So what we're gonna do, Marvin, this is where it gets serious now. This is where it gets serious.
Business time.
Score predictions. This is where we fall out, Marvin. I've loved you and I want to be best friend, but this is where score predictions, we can't go the same direction on this. And we're having you. Right, Paul, I'm gonna remove me, gonna drop some music before.
Let's go. Bring it to Miami,
Right.
The Miami.
Where's he going? Dan, what are you doing? Are you going to sing yourself, Dan? It's because he can't. He's struggling to do two things at once, I think.
He's going to give us a
Emma and Lulu tell us that we can't actually multitask. He's actually not doing that. He's doing something very special. Dan's in the mood, you can tell.
This is Everton! This is Everton! What a sporting helmet that is, though. Look at that.
The war
across the air. This is Everton. No retreat, no surrender. Feel like you had to get the sporting helmet for Manchester City. A big team, ain't they? They're going to come at us all guns blazing. Here we go. This is Spartan.
Yeah. Dan, I'm teaching ancient Greek in school with the kids, and I can tell you that is a bona fide, unique Spartan helmet.
Take me top off when we score. You know what I mean? When we score against them. This is Spartan. Right. Bit of fun. Let's get serious now. That did knock people on the stream. They like the music. They like the Spartan.
You like music?
I mean, I ain't doing no Tyson Fury. I ain't dodging this fight. I am ready for this Manchester City game, people. This is a big game. We want your score predictions. There's 15, 16 on. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. And mainly, if you're on Twitter, just give us your score prediction. We want goal scorers as well. We go specific. We want to know everything, what's going on in your head. And that's how we're finishing the show. Paul, I'm going to put you first. Then I'm going to do Marvin. And then I'm going to come at Marvin with mine as well. So score predictions. Marvin's going to give it us here. I know he is. I've seen his tweets and stuff like that. He ain't going to take it easy on us. He's coming after us here. Your score prediction and goal scorers, Paul. Let's do this. Come on.
Well, I'm going to be controversial, and I'm going to say 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah. Now, I think you remember when we played Villa, and Emery hadn't had a 0-0 in 98 games or something like that. You know, similar sort of thing. I think we can defend well enough. I don't think we're good enough to score against City. I don't think we'll be high enough up the pitch. But I think Pickford will have a blinder, and we'll have so many bodies in there, particularly to stop them getting around the back. I just think that we could actually keep a clean sheet against them. I think we could really piss them off in that way. So I'm going to say 0-0.
I'm the confident one. Paul, he has had us down to lose before. 0-0's quite good for you, Paul. I feel against Manchester City.
I'll take that. I'll take 0-0. 0-0 now would be an amazing result for us.
So Paul's gone 0-0. That is Paul's score. So who's your goal scorers for 0-0, Paul?
PCL.
I'll tell you something. If I was going to be a comedian, game over for me. Right, here we go, Marvin. Your score prediction, and we want your goal scorers as well. Come at us with it, mate. What have you got for me? This is where we're going to fall out. Come on. What are Manchester City going to do to us?
Now we need a clean sheet.
What are you going to do to us?
Now this one, we need a clean sheet. So this is the game. We're going to get a clean sheet, hopefully, because we're at home. Hopefully that we need to keep a clean sheet. We don't need to, but it would be nice to keep a clean sheet. I'm going to say 3-0. I was going to say 2-0 because that's more like 2-0 maybe, but I'm going to say 3 just because I just think, the Viking, he's ready, man. The Viking, he's waiting. He wants his goal. When the Viking wants his goals, when Haaland wants his goals, he wants his goals. So I do think that Haaland will, even if it's a pen.
Said 2-0, then Dan put that helmet on.
2-0. Be happy if it's 2-0. Be happy if it's 2-0. But no,
I didn't. Do you know what, Marvin? I didn't put the helmet on for Haaland. I put the helmet on for Everton coming at you.
We were getting ready to switch.
I got the Viking on for us, and now you're talking about your Viking. No, this is Everton.
We got our Viking
Go on
too,
then.
man. We got our Viking, man.
Yeah, I've got you hyped now. I've done the wrong thing here, haven't I? Right. So you're 3-0. What do you say? 3-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 3-0. I think Haaland will score. I think, to be fair, I do think because of Silva, it's tricky feet. We might get a penalty. You know, even if Haaland scores a penalty, we'll take it. We'll take penalties. We don't care how the goals come by. So I think Haaland will score. Foden, he's got a great record against Everton. I think Foden will score, and Foden might actually score a brace. I'm gonna say Foden brace Haaland penalty.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's interesting that you say. It's interesting that you said penalty because I don't know what is a penalty.
You don't know penalties. Trust me, when we had
we're the only team this season to not have a penalty. You know, and we've had loads of penalties that should have been penalties, and we're the only team. Like referees against us. I hate moaning about referees because I feel like you should be better than the referee anyway. You shouldn't count on the referee. But the amount of penalties that referees haven't given us and the amount of penalties that's been given against us, like that handball that Onana did where his hand's there, is ridiculous. But there's an interesting fact here. Just reminding me, Luke, School of Science, he comes on the channel as well. He said that we are getting a referee that is from our area, and he is a referee that might actually give us a decision. The referee, he's looked him up. So it could be a good referee that we get. For once, we might get our first penalty ourselves. John Brooks is called, and he's actually from our area. So
probably hates it.
Yeah, fun little nugget of info for you. The referee for this Man City versus Everton game is from Hoyton. This is probably the best chance I'll ever get. I know, yeah. Mate, my English is awful, right? This is I've done well read this out. This is the best chance we'll get.
Hang on. At the same time, though, Michael Oliver's on VAR.
Oh, yeah, Michael Oliver, man. You know, this is the fun thing. This is the one thing that we can definitely agree on. The refereeing is horrendous. The refereeing is horrendous.
Garbage.
You think with VAR they'd sort it out. But I think that is something we also feel unjustified as well. You know, there's obvious reasons that we could probably speak for ages about how we hate the Premier League. We've got 115 reasons why. You guys have one reason why. But we do have 115 reasons. So if there's anyone that knows about the hate of the Premier League, it's us. You know, we hate the Premier League. The refereeing, they're not consistent. So I just hope this game, it's a clean game, it's a good game. I just hope that no decision. I don't want to be hearing about the referees at the end of the game. I just want to hear about the scoreline. And hopefully our fans as well. Because sometimes 12:30 kickoffs at the Etihad, I'm not even going to lie. Even as a City fan, I can say 12:30 at the Etihad, it can be lacking sometimes. It can be quite quiet. But I'm hoping it isn't. Hoping that we're ready for that game because it's a big game. It's a chance to go top of the table, even if it's for 5 hours. It's a huge opportunity. So yeah, we need to take it.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. We are hoping anyway. We're hoping. I'll throw a few. Dan, you've not said yours.
No, I'm ready. Don't worry. You ain't missing my score prediction here. I'm ready for it. I think of it on the spot, so I'm thinking of it now.
Go on.
He's in battle now.
Yeah, this isn't easy. It's not an easy game. Manchester City are the best team in the Premier League. It's not beat around the bush. Your players are sensational, but our players have got heart. Your players have got talent. Our players have got heart. Heart against talent. 3-2 Everton. You know, 3-2. 3-2. I know, yeah.
Buy it. That's a purple.
I know. 3-2, mate. 3-2. Let's do this. Right, 3-2. The goal scorers, I've set myself up here, and I have 5 goal scorers. I'm going to go for Foden will score for you, and Haaland as well. He's due a goal. I don't know how he's not scored. Normally scores 5 a game. Haaland and Foden for you. So there's your 2. I mean, I don't want to give you 2, by the way, because our defence is incredible, but I feel this is going to be a bigger game than what people think. It could go Paul's way 0-0, but I'm going the opposite direction because I just don't see it being 0-0 this. So that's your goal scorers. Our goal scorers, I'm going to go for Calvert-Lewin to finally get a goal. Jack Harrison's not going to steal it off him this time. Jack Harrison, I feel, will score against you just for the link. I think I've said it all along, Jack Harrison. I've changed my score prediction, since I went on Crump's show. This is how your mind changes. And the last goal scorer I'm going to go for, because I love him and I've got his back, the Belgian beast, Amadou Onana. I like him. Some of our fans don't like it because he has a photo shoot and he looks like a proper gangster with his shades on and his skiing jacket. And Amadou Onana he's like a professional singer. He's a professional model. And our fans like, just be a footballer. Old school's like, oh, Onana, what are you doing? Doing this, doing that. You are allowed to have a life outside of football, So I'm going to go for Onana scoring as well. I think Onana's could be. Do you know Yaya Toure? Onana's going to be Yaya Toure this game. He's going to be the beast in midfield.
No, we can't have Onana. We can't have Onana scoring. We can't have an Onana score in Manchester. We can't. After we can't have Andrew Onana, the goalkeeper.
Mate, you can't link Amadou Onana to frigging that Mr. Bean in goals. You can't be doing that, mate. You know what I mean? That
won't go well. That won't go well in that Etihad. Trust me. If Onana scores, a guy called Onana scores, it won't go well. It won't go down well. So I'm hoping.
I wish I said hat trick now.
To be fair, the Harrison thing, I can see that, but come on, we need a clean sheet. We need a clean sheet. Just hopefully, man. You can't be playing Ashley Young right wing and we concede Ashley Young right wing, and we concede from Ashley Young crosses. We can't.
Yeah.
So tell me then, Marvin. Tell me now. When you're saying there's no chance we're going to beat you, ain't you?
Yeah, I can't.
I'm cropping this. I'm cropping it. I am cropping it. We're coming for you. We're coming for you, Marvin. I'm cropping this out now. So this is going to be a short. This is going to be a short where Marvin says no. I'm going to crop it out, and we're going to beat you because we are the Goodison gang. We have no manners. Spend all our tanners. We are respected everywhere we go. Hey, marching down the Goodison road. All our women's open wide. Oh, here we go. I'm ready for it, and the game's far away. Yeah.
If this was a Goodison game, then it would be different. Then I would say it would be closer. Then I would have went for a closer scoreline. But the fact that you come into the Etihad is why I'm going for the scoreline. I'm going for it. I just think we play. It's not that we play differently, but the players know it's a home game.
Is it a cauldron? Is it a cauldron, Marvin?
It is. It's a cauldron. You know what they used to say? It's simple. They used to say that the Etihad. Obviously, I'm not saying that it's no Anfield. I'm not going to do what Liverpool fans do and do the over-the-top thing. Oh, Anfield is this, Godzilla Zoo. You won't make it out at Anfield. I'm not going to do that. But we've just got a good record at the Etihad. We've just got a very good record. And we're unbeaten. We're unbeaten since Brentford away, which, as I said before, that was in November, before the World Cup. So we have a right. It's not like I'm just saying it just to say it. City fans should be confident in this game. And if they're not confident, then it's either they're just scared of typical City, the typical City. Oh yeah, that's how City is, Or it's just the fact that maybe they're genuinely scared about the game. But the majority of City fans I speak to, some of them.
Marvin, don't worry. I still want you to win the league. So what I'll do for you is I'll beat you on Saturday, and then what I'll do is we'll beat the Shite. We'll beat Liverpool. We'll beat them in the derby this time. So we'll beat Manchester City and we'll beat the Shite. So we'll still let you win the league. Don't worry.
But
that can still happen. We're not stopping you from winning the league. We're just going to spank you. That's all we're going to do.
Yeah, a bit of give and take,
Well, we're apparently the villains of the league. So because we're the villains of the league, we have to be greedy. We have to be greedy and want to win all the games, all the trophies.
Man City, be greedy. Behave, surely not.
We've got too many charges. I've been through too many. We've got too many charges to go easy on you guys. 150, and you guys are also Everton were one of those clubs as well that wanted us to not even play in Europe. So we don't think I forgot about you guys too, Everton, man. But nah. Yeah. To be fair, I don't blame you guys. I don't blame you guys. Loads of teams did as well. But I think that's another added thing. Like Pep doesn't really mention it, but I think that's another motivation. The fact that Everton were one of the 9 teams that were like, oh yeah, when we were against Cast, they were like, oh, we don't want Man City to play in Europe. We want them to have a European ban. So that's another motivation. That's why I'm going to go for free as well, man. We got,
We'll get that on a flag. Should we find out some score predictions, Dan?
Yeah, get Crunk scared, man. Crunk, take a seat because you might get scared of these score predictions. Although, when I've just been super positive, The Blues just says, and then you'll wake up to me saying that we're going to win. So maybe these score predictions ain't going to be as good as mine. Don't make promises, Dan. So go on, let's put these score predictions on the screen.
Winning runs have got to stop at some point, and there's plenty of goals in these predictions. I mean, Sazul reckons.
Paul, you're the stat man. That Crunk said Crunk said to me when I went on the Manchester City channel. Crunk said to me that he come out with all these stats. Sean Dyche has never beat Man City as a manager. Crunk told me that. And he also told me Everton have never done this against Man City. And I goes, keep bringing it to me, Crunk. Keep giving me all this stuff because I'm going to break it. Don't worry, give me all these.
It's our speciality. It's our speciality, isn't it?
Specialities.
You know? Our speciality.
Like breaking all these records and stuff like that. Not records of smashing it in the Premier League, but just records to be broken. Right, go on, Paul. Go for it.
Lulu's gone 2-2 seems a popular score tonight because Lulu's gone 2-2. Sazul's would love the 2-2, to be fair. Eugene's in. What score do you reckon Eugene went for? 4-1.
Yes, Eugene! Eugene is in the house. Eugene is here. This is the sort of Everton fan that I want in my comments. Look at that. Eugene is in the building.
We love Eugene. He's always. Emma's gone 2-2.
Get in, Eugene. Eugene gets in something.
Cats 2-2 as well.
Eugene.
Cats 2-2 as well. Optimistic or deluded. Either way, 2-2. City, the Blues brings us bang crashing.
Oh, the Blues, man.
2-0 City, Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne.
The Blues. Let's just address that on the Blues, Paul. Go back to that. The Blues. Come on, man. I know I say be honest on what you think. I always say that. Give your proper score. Predict the Blues.
He's our guide. He's our guide to the dark side.
The Blues is like this is my music. I hype it all.
Yeah.
And this is the Blues music. And this is the Blues music.
We began to feel the fire.
He's a bit sadder, isn't he? He's not feeling it.
We rise like tall buildings.
What, the Blues?
As the chemicals that take us.
Play for
Blues,
Tazul.
DM me your address and I'll send you a McDonald's and a bottle of Bacardi and we'll get you ready for this game and you'll change your score. Right, go on, Paul.
Yeah, Tazul says 2-0 City as well. But he also said if Everton win 3-2, Dan should do the show with his undies. How do you know he's not doing it right now?
Like Gary Lineker.
You know what? There's a story. There's a story actually. Right. Oh, no, I'm not even going to tell the story. Actually, it's a story. It's a story. Oh my days! Right. So I'm upstairs and I went downstairs and I took the missus' leggings on, and I got the missus' leggings on, and she's laughing her head off. And I goes, "Yeah, I've got a nice arse answer to the missus, and I've got her leggings on." And she's laughing her head off, and she goes, "Why don't you wear them on the stream?" Because I put my trackers on, my jeans on now. You know what I mean? And I goes, because if I jump up and celebrate or get hyped on the channel, they're going to see me in leggings. It's funny you said that. I did change my bottoms for this stream. I've actually got jeans on now. Yeah, a random story.
See what could have happened. Marvin had no idea it was going to be like this. Tazul, right, it's gone more positive now. He's changed. He's gone 1-1. All that positivity off Dan, you see. That's what we got.
I love it. I love these scores. You've got to get behind that. The only way is to be positive. One thing I will say though, I always do say, like, some of our fans, like, they like to think negative and they say, "Oh well, I'll think we're going to lose, and then if we do lose, then it'll feel okay." It doesn't feel okay if you think we're going to lose and you lose. it still hurts if you think we're going to lose and you lose. You'll still be frustrated. So you might as well, at least before the game, get hyped up, think you're going to win. And if you don't, just get over it and move on to the next game. I always feel like, as a fan, me personally, I could never, as an Everton fan, go into a game thinking we're going to lose. There's no point in me even supporting my team then if I go into a game thinking we're going to lose. I always think we've got a chance. Now, I completely understand against Manchester City, world-class team. Like, I love some of Manchester City's players, like a player that you haven't even got in your team, the winger that you've got. What's his name? The Belgian winger.
Doku. Jeremy Doku.
He is freaking Grease lightning, that man. He's sensational. And Grealish, you can't even put Grealish in your team at the minute. Manchester City are dangerous. I know how good you are, and I know a few players are going to have an off day, because if Manchester City play their best football and you let them play their best football, they'll beat anybody. But Everton don't intend to let Manchester City beat Manchester City. So I know how good you are and I respect your team, but I just think that we have got a couple of weapons that can frustrate you, because and I'll put this on you now, on our corners, which we do get a lot of corners now, we'll just get the ball up there no matter what. When we have corners, we put Calvert-Lewin on the front post. We put Gerard Branthwaite in the middle. These are all 6'3", 6'4", really good at heading. Gerard Branthwaite in the middle, and we put Tarkowski at the back to head it back across goal. That's 3 massive giants that are really good at heading the ball. So when we've got corners, who are you putting on those 3 players, Marvin? So you've got Calvert-Lewin, Branthwaite, and Tarkowski. You've got to mark.
Now we got Diaz. Diaz, he likes some of that aggression. Rodri's another guy that I'd put on one of those guys. And I would also look at maybe Walker. Maybe Walker, you're looking at your defenders, your Akes, if Gavardio plays, because we're not going to put maybe Haaland as well. Haaland, let me not.
Haaland could be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, Haaland does come back for corners, but apart from that, no one really. Our midfielders don't really win that many headers, and our wingers, they're just, that's not their thing. But in our defense, we do defend well in corners. That's the one thing I'll say. Even though defensively we've been kind of lapsing this season, when it comes to defending set pieces, we're very good at that. Very good. I don't know the stats, but I do think it will be, apart from maybe, it might even be the best in the league, but apart from maybe Liverpool, I think or Arsenal, I think we'll have the best for that. So set pieces, I think the best hope for Everton, I think, is that Harrison on the break. That's the guy I'm worried about. That Jack Harrison on the break. If DCL holds the ball up, plays him in. That's where I think the joy could be. I'm not gonna try and get you guys excited, and start betting about it. You know what I mean? Start betting that Everton are gonna win. But that's where I would say, if there's any player I'm worried about 5 minutes, Jack Harrison.
Yeah, dude.
No, I did say Jack Harrison as well. I remember that Leeds game where they had like 10 men, and then Jack Harrison was amazing against you, where Leeds had 10 men. I think they come back and won against you, or drew with 10 men that game back in the day. So it could be a good game for Harrison. It's interesting that you say that. You should be worried. We are coming for you. I should be worried, or Marvin should be worried.
They say to me, nah, I'm scared. You shouldn't read Timbers. I'm sweating. I'm worried.
We should be sitting 12th position without the 10-point deduction. That's what's put us in the bottom 3. 10-point deduction when you get 9 points for administration is crazy for me. But we're having to work with it and deal with it, because we don't know whether we're going to get the points back. So we're just having to grind it out. I feel a lot of people, our fans are worried because we're in the bottom 3, but I said you've just got to not panic and we'll move away from it. Just let the games unfold, win a couple of games, and we'll be okay, because we should be 12th. If we're that team, let's just be that team. Paul, is that all the score predictions?
That's where we go. Lots of goals in those. I'm hoping Eugene's correct.
Eugene forward.
A lot of 2-2s. Do you want to give yourself? I should have done this at the start of the channel, but do you want to? I've seen your Twitter account. You've got plenty of Manchester City followers, 6,000 followers on Manchester. Do you want to give yourself a shout out? Where do people follow you and stuff? Because you've been cracking on the channel, to be fair, mate. I mean, we're gonna smash you. What a guy you are.
Thanks for having me. First of all, you can find me just on Twitter. That's mainly where I'm at. G Certified. As I was saying before to to Dan and Paul, I was saying that I don't usually I'm not consistent with like content creation, so you might not see me on a YouTube, but whenever like people ask me to come on, I'm always there. You know, I'm always there. I always help people when I can. I'm always on Twitter Spaces. I'm there too. So yeah, that's where I find.
That is really good to get the opposition fan on us. We didn't used to do it. We've only just started doing it. But I honestly do think it gives you a good feeling before the game to get an opposition fan, because the two teams are going to go head to head. But let's put the fans head to head before the game and see what the fans think before the game. It's always more interesting, and that's what we're trying to do on Toffee BLUECAST now. I think we've managed to get someone for every team now, and you've been cracking. We will have you on again. Crunt couldn't do it, but he passed you on. He recommended you. And I can see why, mate. Absolutely smashed it. That's it for Paul. Last words from Paul. The motivating. He's gone 0-0. I've gone 3-2.
We've got lots.
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0. Sorry, he ain't gave us one.
3-0. Yeah.
Marvin, sorry.
I just forgot, and I can't let him go without having his prediction. I can't remember if I did put it up, but he might not have heard me. But Hazrat, who's been here since the start, says I didn't show his prediction. I think Hazrat would probably go something like, I think he'll probably go 3-1 Everton, something like that, I reckon.
That would be fair.
Definitely have 3 or 4.
The comment section, man, I give them that. They've been great, man. You know, the one thing I say, I'm surprised 115 charges. I was expecting a few 115, to be fair. I was ready. You know what I mean? I had the Viking hat. I was ready as well to fight back against the charges, but nah, it's been great, man. It's been great.
Yeah, maybe if we did it again Saturday afternoon, then maybe you'd have it then. We'll have to see.
What it is, though, I think with our comments, because we do know everyone in the comments. It's good to get the comments. That's why I advertise. Please we want to get new Everton fans in the comments as well, because they're all regulars that come on and they're cracking. So shout out to you lot in the comments. But they really do like getting a guest on from the opposition. I think every time I've had one from nearly every team now, and they do show the opposition fan respect, because we just want to know what you think of your team and get that sort of insight. So you won't get trolled on Toffee BLUECAST, to be fair, even though a lot of this could have been spoke about us getting 10 points and you having nothing and getting away with it. But at the end of the day, there's no point in us keep moaning about it. We've got the Premier League, we've got football to do now. We've got to stay up. Moaning will get you nowhere this season. We're in the bottom 3. There's no point in moaning about it, because you've got to actually take action now and get out of it and get out of trouble. We're looking to push up the table this season and hopefully not get a deduction next season, so we can have a really good season next season. You're looking to win the league. So it's going to be a really good game on the base that you do need to crack on now to win the league, and we do really need to get out of this bottom 3. So what a game we are in for, Paul. What a game we are in for. Thanks, everyone, for in the comments. Like I say, we are a member of YouTube now. If you do want to support the channel, there is that link where you can hit the little stuff underneath. So we've managed to do that. We do want to push to 1,000 now. We've only been going 1 season, so we are going well. We're over 500 now, but we do want to push to 1,000 subscribers. We have got like ex-players looking to come on the channel. We have got the Everton physio coming on. We've had cracking guests just before this as well. We're on the rise, but we do need your support. So hit that like and subscribe so we can give you really good content, people. And we will work our arse off to give you a good show. So support us, get behind us, and we will do what we can. And we'll definitely have you on again, Marvin. Right, people, here we go. Drop the banner. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. Put the legendary song on. Top is everyone.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out.
Next stream we'll be celebrating.